Hi guys, it's Paula and I hope you are doing well. This video is going to be 7 eye looks that were done over a week for a challenge that was created by my friends Kyra and Angela. And it was called the 7 Days of Fall Color Challenge. And basically they created a color for each day starting Monday the 19th and going for the next week. I actually started working on this a little bit ahead of time just because I was still having to go to my job for a few of those days and there was Thanksgiving, and so I wanted a little wiggle room in case there was a day I couldn't film the eye look, like if I was in a rush. And there were a couple days, so it worked out well. Not only were we challenged to do the specific color looks for each day, but they gave us an additional challenge to kind of shop our stash for some lesser used eyeshadow palettes, which was one of the main reasons I decided to join in on this challenge. Besides the fact that I have a hard time saying no when people invite me to do things with them. But you guys know that I have a lot of unused or little used palettes in my stash, and the feedback I keep getting from many of you over and over and over again is that you want to see me using my eyeshadow palettes more, and that you feel a little bit frustrated for me that I'm not shopping my stash more often. So I decided to do this color challenge. This video is going to be very long, but I pulled out a ton, well, what feels like a ton of palettes, including the Lime Crime Venus 3, which I'd only used one shadow before. That's the eye look I'm wearing today, which is day 7's look. The NYX Ultimate Shadow Palette I'd never used before. It was brand new. The brand new Pat McGrath Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette, which I just got, and I did not want it to go unused much longer. I used this one for a day. The ColourPop Femme Rosa She palette I'd never used before. The Too Faced Gingerbread Spice palette I had used once before, but I got to use a different shade that had never been used before. The Subculture palette, which is the perfect palette for fall if you like these kind of grungy fall inspired colors. And I used these 2 shadows, which I'd never used before. My Natasha Denona green palette, I used a bunch of shades in here that I'd never used before, and I'm really glad I did. And finally, the Morphe 350 Matte and 350 Shimmer palettes I've had for about a year and a half, and I'd never used either one before, and I found some surprisingly wonderful shadows in the matte palette in particular. So yes, this is going to be a long video. I'm so sorry. I'm going to edit it down as much as I can, but there are 7 eye looks in this one video. I hope you enjoy watching it. Thank you so much if you do stick around for the entire video, and let's get into it. Good morning, guys. It is day 1, and the color for today is golden yellow or mustard yellow. So I've pulled out some eyeshadows that I think would be perfect. I've honestly been trying to psych myself up to do like a monochromatic mustard yellow look for a while now, like maybe a month, and I've never had the courage to do it. So today's the day, and I hope it turns out because I have to go to work in like a half an hour. So the shadows I have pulled are the Subculture palette, and I have, of course, the shades New Wave and Edge right here, neither of which I've ever used before. How is that possible? I don't know. I also thought immediately of this golden shade from the Ginger Spice palette called Warm and Toasty, right there, if I want to do something kind of shimmery on the lid. And I also have my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in the shade Valley Girl. This is in my Peeping Pans, and I have been loving it. It looks pretty white, but there's a lot of gold shimmer reflect in there that gives it a beautiful gold look. So I might be using this shadow as well. I have all my other makeup on, so I just need to finish my eyes. And I have pulled out 3 brushes. These are my 3 main go-tos. They're dirty, as always, but I use them every day. But this mint brush, it's a mint 24, is like my lower lash line and outer corner brush. This one does most of the work. It's a ColourPop brush that was a freebie. And this is another mint brush in, I think, the number 20, and sometimes I use that. All right, let's dip into the Subculture palette. I'm gonna start with Edge, the lighter yellow right there with I'm gonna start with this fluffy mint brush just in case I need to. And I'm gonna be using this mirror. Look at that. Who likes it seeing the sticker peeled off the mirror? It doesn't do anything for me, so all of my mirrors still have stickers on them, but for those of you guys that like this, here you go. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm going in with Edge. I am tapping so carefully because I'm scared of this palette. Make sure this is all. Oh, and I've primed my eyes with my e.l.f. eyelid primer and a little bit of the NYX Jumbo Pencil in Milk on the inner third of my eyelid. And I haven't set it with I didn't set it with a cream shadow. We're going straight in. Feeling bold. Maybe I should have. I'm gonna grab a little bit of Dawn. All right, it looks a lot brighter in person than it does on camera. It also is so much darker on my eyes than I was expecting it to be. I was expecting it to be a lot more vibrant, and it's really a deep yellow. Okay, so I ended up doing some mixing. So I started out with Edge, and it was just kind of patchy, probably because I didn't set my primer with a cream colored base. So I started mixing Edge and Dawn to kind of blend it out, and that worked. And now I feel like I have a pretty good base. So now I'm gonna go in with New Wave and kind of see what I can do with that. It might go on my eyelid. I'm not sure. That was probably too much shadow. Eek! Oh, I like this color. This is pretty.
We're just gonna go everywhere.
I don't know if I can pull off yellow or not yet, but I don't feel like it's horrible. I don't feel like I'm walking into a fail situation. I'm gonna smudge some of the same colors out on my lower lash line, Edge and New Wave, and just kind of blow it out on my lower lash line.
Funny face.
Okay, so I have just really blown out the yellow and like light orangey yellow colors all over my eyelid. I took it all the way like out here quite a bit, and I brought it up. I am having some dry patches right here. I was rubbing my eyes like crazy on Monday, and I'm paying for it now with some dry, like kind of rough looking skin, but it's healing. So I don't want to go in too close to that dry patch. It just seems to emphasize what's going wrong if I put shadow over it. But I kind of feel like this could be it, like liner, mascara, done. But let's just put a little bit of gold on top and see what happens. So I'm gonna go in with Warm and Toasty from my Gingerbread Spice palette. It's right there. I'm just gonna put some on the center of my eyelid, and I'm going to apply it with my finger. Oh yeah, I don't think that ruined it. That is fun. I do love a shimmery eyelid, that's all I can say. All right, and I'm gonna take just a bit of Valley Girl and put that right on my inner corners, and I'm going to be done. I love this shadow so much. Okay, I'm gonna throw on some liner and mascara, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm glad I tried a mustard yellow eyeshadow look that was kind of monochromatic. It works. My eyeliner got away from me just a little bit this morning. I'm just getting back into using a liquid eyeliner, and it got a little thick, but I'm okay with that. On my lips, I have the Revlon Ultra HD lip color that I hauled recently, and this is the shade Desert. I wasn't sure what shade to go with this eye look, but you can't go wrong with a warm neutral. And this is so nice and comfortable. I like it. So that is it for day one. I will see you guys tomorrow for day two. Good morning guys, it's day two, and the color for today is berry or burgundy. I have pulled out the same 3 eyeshadow brushes as from day one, and I have my Pan That palette that I'm gonna be using the blush for, the blush shade, and then I have this ColourPop She palette, and I've never used it before, so this is gonna be my first time trying a look with it. Here is what she looks like. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. ColourPop eyeshadows do intimidate me a little bit. I do feel like an eye look can get carried away really fast because these shadows are so pigmented. So I'm gonna be going in easy like I did with the Subculture palette yesterday, or for day one, I should say. But yeah, I think I'm going to be using these 2 shades down here, yes, and probably one of these 2 on my eyelid. It's gonna be simple and quick. I've already highlighted my brow bone with a little bit of the vanilla eyeshadow from my Pan That palette, and I've already primed and used my NYX Jumbo Stick in Milk. So I'm going to take this ColourPop brush and go in with the blush from my Pan That palette. It's the same blush I have on my cheeks, and just start working that into my crease and kind of transition area. Okay, now I feel much more comfortable with putting down these really pigmented eyeshadows from ColourPop, and hopefully this will kind of create a barrier so that they don't just take over my whole face. Okay, so I'm really bad at figuring out which names go with which shadows, but I think the one that I'm going in with is called Deer. And it's this one right here.
Oh man, you got it through the...
And there's no mirror in this palette, so I'm gonna keep using my mirror in my Pan That palette.
What a pretty shade.
Okay, I'm gonna take my pencil brush and go in with the same shade and just run that under my lower lash line.
Get out of the way here.
Okay, sticking with the same brush, I am now going to go into this deepest color. It's kind of a purpley, plummy eggplant, and I think it's called Damsel. Right there, I think.
Should I move in closer to you guys? Ah, drop something.
Okay, I'm gonna go back in with that same shade with the ColourPop brush and see if I can kind of get it a little bit deeper and blend it out a little bit more. Okay, that was not as pigmented as I thought it was gonna be, and I'm not complaining about it because the last thing I need is to place a super pigmented deep color and make myself look like I have a black eye, but it just took a little bit more work to get it to where I wanted it. I'm gonna go back in with the first shade and blend out my crease and outer V just a little bit more. Okay, good. I'm happy. When I look at these two shades, they look very similar. This one looks like a chunkier, more glitter shade, and this one looks a little bit more like a smoother metallic. So I'm gonna swatch them on my hand and see what they look like on my hand and then decide. Okay, that's the chunkier, glittery one, and that's the more metallic one. Maybe I'll layer them. I'm gonna start with the smoother one right here. This is called Mademoiselle. And then I'll go in with Empress on top. I hope I'm saying these color names correctly. All right, and I'm gonna use a finger that I haven't already gotten shadow all over. Okay, and I'm gonna layer the glitter one on top. of that. Okay, and since I'm not sure if I blended away most of my brow bone highlight, I'm going to take this first one here. I believe it is called Ladylike, and just put a little bit of that on my brow bone. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of this Anastasia Beverly Hills Metallic Luster Liner in the shade Liquid Gold on the inner corner of my eye.
Maybe sharpen this.
Okay, that's it for eyeshadow. I am going to add mascara and liner, and I'll be right back.
You got it?
Okay, so this is the finished look, you guys. I added a little bit of black in my waterline, some liquid eyeliner, and some mascara. On my lips, I have this Lancome Juicy Shaker in the shade Wondermelon. I picked this up at Ross recently, and it's pretty. I like this. I could wear this all year long, but I think it's definitely fabulous for summer, but I'm looking for comfort, and this is definitely comfortable, and I wanted to try it out because it's new. I really enjoyed working with this palette. Some shadows that I worked with are super pigmented and others are not. I ended up using this shadow, this, a little bit of this, and this. And the standout, like, best shadow out of the bunch was definitely this one. I absolutely loved it. There were times when I thought this look was going more orange than berry. In the end, I think this is a berry look. I think so. I'm happy with it. And I'm really excited to have played with this palette for the first time. So, yay. All right, guys, I'll see you for day 3 next. Okay, guys, for day 3, the color is dark or dusty green. I have pulled out 2 palettes to work with today. One is the Subculture palette again. I'm specifically thinking of this Destiny color right here. And then I also pulled out my Natasha Denona palette that is seriously ignored. And it's the, I think this is called green brown one. I don't know. But I'm definitely thinking maybe some of these brighter colors, but maybe more of the shades in this row here. Another thing I've been debating about all morning long is typically when I do a green look, I almost always use a kind of warm shade like that in my crease and transition. And I was thinking about maybe going against my instincts and just doing a lot of green. I don't know. Maybe I'll still go with the warm shade in my transition. So let's get started. I have all the rest of my face makeup on. I pulled my same 3 brushes that I've been using for every day, plus 2 more just in case. This is from Real Techniques. It is the Instapop shade brush. This is the larger of the two Instapop brushes. I can't find the smaller one. And then I have a Morphe M433 brush right here. Kind of looks like a MAC 217. All right, I have primed and set my eyelids already. I actually set it this time with my face powder. What should I do? Yeah, I'm gonna go in with the warm brown. What can I say? I'm a creature of habit. I'm gonna take this Morphe brush right here and I'm gonna go in with this shade right here. It is called Sandstorm. Maybe I should start with Roxy first before I apply Sandstorm. Ew. Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start with Roxy, actually, this lighter orange. That was probably too much. Okay, now I'm going to go in with that deeper Sandstorm shade from the Natasha Denona palette and go a little more directly into my crease.
Oh boy, did this just get out of hand?
I feel like this side just got a little carried away. Ooh-wee. I think what I'd like to do is layer some of these greens. So maybe take one of the deeper olivey greens like this one and then maybe layer a brighter one on top of it. Or maybe these two. I'm not sure. I'm frozen. I'm paralyzed with... I'm not using Destiny. That took an ironic twist. Okay. All right, so I'm gonna take this deep shade here called Smoky Quartz. I'm gonna apply it all over my entire eyelid. I found this Wet n Wild eyeshadow brush to use for applying the shadow. In technical terms. What's up, girl?
I did.
You're silly. This is such a pretty color. It's subtle, but it's pretty. Take a little bit on my finger and apply it. Okay, now to pick a brighter green. All right, let's go for this one. Right down at the bottom, it is called Emerald Green. And I'm just going to apply that on top of the Smoky Quartz with my finger.
Don't touch with your dirty. Hold on, move your little spoon, girly.
Okay, I think those two colors kind of layered on top of each other make a nice combination. I am actually going to go back in with my Mint fluffy brush, and I am gonna take the shade Destiny, this kind of olivey green one, and run it right in my crease. Whoa, that one is no joke. Tapping, I'm tapping, I'm tapping. I'm tapping, I'm tapping. This is so much deeper than it looked in the pan. Holy cow. Wow, that is a lot deeper than I was expecting. Story of this palette for me. I keep expecting it to be so much lighter than it actually is. Okay, that's where we're at so far. I'm gonna take this deep orangey brown terracotta color called Sandstorm, and run that through my crease. I think I'm gonna also run Destiny under my lower lash line. Normally I go with the warmer shade in my lower lash line, but I'm feeling bold.
What a weird shadow this is.
Wow. I don't know why I'm saying wow. I'm so surprised by this shadow. It is so much deeper than I imagined. I gotta blend this out again. Sheesh. All right, I'm gonna go back in with the bright green from the Natasha Denona palette and pat over my eyelid again. I'm going to take this really shimmery gold shade and just pop that like right on my inner third of my eyelid.
Yeah, I really like it.
This is the gold shadow right there. So pretty. Oh, don't go crazy.
Hi.
Are you saying hi?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I better stop.
Only one.
I ended up using 1, 2, 3, 4.
Not too much.
Not too much, that's right. Always good advice. All right, in the end, I used 2 shades from the Anastasia Beverly Hills Subculture palette. I used Destiny, I almost called it Gravity. I used Destiny and Roxy, and I used 4, let's see, make sure I'm right. 1, 2, 3, 4 shades from the Natasha Denona palette. So this was a 6 shadow look, plus my brow bone highlight is 7. All right, I used Sandstorm, Smoky Quartz, Emerald, Green Emerald, and True Gold from my Natasha Denona palette. All right, I'm gonna add liner and lashes, and I will be right back. Okay, mascara and liner are on. This is the finished look. On my lips, I have these two MAC Oh Sweetie lip colors. This one is in Creamy Peach Pie, and that I have everywhere. And then I popped a little bit of coconut macaroon, whatever, right in the center of my lip. These are very metallic, very pigmented glosses. They don't seem to dry down, but they're much more pigmented than a gloss, and they're very metallic. I don't know what I think about them, but I thought that they went well with the crease color, so I figured I'd try it out. Really enjoyed using both of these palettes today. I'm happy with the look. It's the epitome of a fall eye look for me, green and orange. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is day 4, and the color for today is orange. I thought I was going to be working with my ColourPop Yes Please palette. At least that was my plan yesterday. But when I woke up this morning, I had a change of heart, and I decided to pull out 2 palettes that I've never used before, and I've had for a couple of years now. 35O and 35M. I've had these for a long time, and I've never used them even once. I also brought a couple of Project Pan items that I may or may not bring in. One is Amber Rush from L'Oreal. It's an infallible shadow or a pressed pigment. And the other one is my Stila Glitter and Glow in the shade Kitten. So we'll see where this goes. Maybe I'll use them, maybe I won't. I have my same brushes I'm always using and never washing. Just do like this. That's all you need. You're good to go. So, yeah, let's take a look at this. Here's the 35OM palette. O stands for orange, I believe. M stands for matte. Even though this is the O palette, it's pretty brown, so I guess I'll be focusing right here. And I have primed my eyes. I've put a little bit of a brow bone highlight on, but that's it. So let's get into it. I am going to take, I don't back down from color. Who are we kidding? I'm gonna take this shade right here and start working that into my crease with this Real Techniques Instapop brush. It kind of scares me. This brush is a little weird for me. Wow, I think I'm done. I'm just kidding. I'm not done, but that brush is a beast. I'm gonna go in with this fluffy Morphe M433 brush, and I'm gonna go in a little deeper with this orange in the corner right there. I just watched a tutorial on a kind of smoky, unstructured halo eye, so that's probably the direction I'm going, because it turned out beautifully on her. Wow, that is really orange, isn't it? Good thing I'm wearing an orange sweater. Be set. Okay, so what I did just then was I mixed this shadow with this shadow and just kind of blended out the transition. It was looking a little less smooth than I would like it to, so that seemed to do the trick. Now I'm going to do my lower lash line, and I'm just going to go back in with this shade right here and sweep that under my lower lashes. Okay, that's that. Let's see what the shimmer palette looks like, and then I'll decide what I want to kind of place in the center of my eyelid. Huh. It has been so long since I've looked at these. So this is the shimmer palette. Again, it's not a lot of orangey shades, but I'm not necessarily going for an orangey shade. I'm actually... Wow. I wish I could swatch all these, but I don't feel like being bothered. I'm thinking this one maybe. It seems to have a little bit of peach in it. Or maybe this one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. All right. We're going to go with this one because eeny, meeny, miny, mo said so. And I am just going to apply that with my finger. I don't know if that looks as pretty on camera as it does in real life. That shadow has like a peach pink flip. Okay, I'll do a swatch so you could see. Ugh, lights. Let me see if I turn my lights down if it works. I mean, they're down as far as they go, but I'll just turn them off. Okay. See how that has like a peachy pinky flip to it? I don't know if it's picking up. Anyways, it's pretty. I don't know if it's showing. But this is the eye look. I am going to turn my light back on. There we go. Okay, so I'm done. I'm going to add liner and mascara and lips, and I'll show you the final look in a minute. Okay guys, so this is the finished look. I did add a little bit of ColourPop's Valley Girl to the inner corner. Isn't that gorgeous? That gold picks up and it's beautiful. On my lips, I have this Lancome Matte Shaker in Nude Devotion. And I think it pairs really nicely with the orange in the eyes. I like it. So this is the eye look for day 4, guys. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is day 5, and the color for today is metallic gold, copper, or bronze. Those are probably my favorite shades of all time to wear. And I decided it was time to bust out the Mothership palette. This is the Mothership Sublime Bronze Ambition palette. I hauled this in my last What the Haul, Paula. And this is what she looks like. Right here, I've only swatched her on my hand, haven't touched her on my eyes yet. So today's the day. I also have my Anastasia Beverly Hills eyeliner, metallic luster liner in liquid gold, and just 2 brushes. This Morphe M433 brush that I've been using quite a bit lately, and my Wet n Wild flat shader brush that probably cost like $1. But I don't have a lot of flat shader brushes, so it's good. I'm glad to have it. Okay, I'm actually going to start with the luster liner and apply some of that kind of around the inner corner of my eye. I have already primed my eyes with my e.l.f. eyelid primer, a little bit of my NYX jumbo pencil in milk, and I put a little bit of a shimmery highlight color on my brow bone. So let's do this. Today, by the way, is actually Thanksgiving. I'm working one day ahead, so I'm pretty excited about that. And I figured it was an occasion worthy of Pat McGrath. I am going to go in first. I have the shades written over here on this thing, but I'm gonna go in first with the shade Throwing Shade, which is the matte shade right here. It's a little bit dark for a transition shade, like maybe I should go in with another shade first. I'm a little scared. Ugh. I kind of want to just use this palette and keep it simple, and part of me is like, okay, I'm just gonna keep it right in my crease, and if I need to, I'll bring in another shadow. We'll see what Pat can do. It's very pigmented. It picked up a lot just with a few taps. Eek. That actually blended out quite nicely. I don't think I need to add in another shadow. Phew. I had heard that about these shadows, but that shade just seemed so dark. I was a little scared. Yeah, I think that looks pretty blended. Let's do the other eye.
Does this eye look more red and this eye look more brown? I feel like it does. Hmm.
Okay, I might end up bringing in a different shade that's not in this palette for the transition, but for now, let's do the eyelid. I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna take this shade right here, no, right, this shade right there in the corner. It is called Gold Rush. We're gonna use Gold Rush all over the eyelid with my flat shader brush from Wet n Wild. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of my finger. I'm gonna put a little product on my fingertip and just go over it one more time. Make sure it's all smooth. Okay, That's very bronzy, goldy, beautiful. I'm gonna go back in with the matte shade just a little bit and blend that out in the crease. And I've already decided I'm gonna grab my Morphe 350M palette to kind of work in my transition area a little bit more. Okay, I'm gonna use my pinky finger and this highlight the lightest shade called Guilt Trip, G-I-L-T, Trip, and just put that on my inner corner on top of where I put the eyeliner. You got boogers, buddy?
No.
No? Wow. I just want to kind of bring a light shade that's not in that palette. So I really enjoyed working with this 350M palette in yesterday's look. So I am going to take this kind of beige color right here and just blend that out a little bit. Perfect, that's all it needed. All right, I'm gonna take a little bit of that same beige shadow from the Morphe, run it under my eyes, and then take this and run that under my eye lower lash line on top of it.
Which finger is not?
Okay, I am going to throw on mascara and eyeliner and I will be right back. Okay guys, so this is the finished bronzy golden eye look for today. On my lips, I have the Revlon HD, Ultra HD in Sand with with a little bit of Too Faced Fairy Tears on top. Look at that squirrel out that window. Look at that crazy squirrel.
Yeah, look at that.
I really enjoyed using this palette. It was missing one lighter matte shade for me to kind of blend out in my transition. Because I take my eyeshadow so high on my eyelid, I really depend on something like that for day-to-day looks. But other than that, I truly enjoyed this palette and I think the shadows perform beautifully. I'm really happy with this look. Have a great Thanksgiving, everybody. See you tomorrow. Good morning, guys. It is day 6, and for day 6, we got to choose our own fall color that hadn't been used before. And I was really stumped on this one because I didn't know what to choose. A lot of good choices had already been picked. Some of the traditional fall colors like green and orange and yellow and berry and all that. So I ended up deciding to go with like an eggplant purpley color, and for that I decided to choose my NYX Ultimate Multi-Finish Shadow Palette. It looks like this, and I've never used it even once. And there's just this perfect row right here that I'm going to be focusing on. for this look. Maybe some of these over here, I'm not sure. So yeah, let's get into it. I think I'm gonna start by putting a little bit of blush into my crease to get going. I've already primed. I'm not gonna be talking a lot because there are people down here, there's trolls on the TV. But yeah, let's see how this works out. Okay, I never do this, but I am going to put a little bit of glitter glue on the center of my eyelids. This is the Too Faced Shadow Insurance glitter glue.
That's right, buddy.
Okay, now I'm gonna take the shimmery lavender shade right there and I'm just gonna apply it with my pinky.
No, that's not right at all, Daddy. Wrong, Daddy, wrong, Daddy. Oh, I like this shade. Why do my hands feel like they're too big sometimes? Uh-oh, who's coming? Hello? Is it me you're looking for?
Ah, I like it. Let's put something on the lower lash line.
Bridget.
Okay, for my lower lash line, I'm gonna use this mid-tone lavender.
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 What? I'm gonna surprise you. Okay. Bridget's crying. should we do what? Bridget Glitter Sparkles. Bridget Glitter Sparkles, that would have been a good name for her. If she had that. Oh, yeah, nice. Oh. Look at that. Gotta blend that out a little. That was pretty.
Okay, I think that's it. I'm gonna add liner and mascara and I'll be right back. Okay, so this is the final look on my lips. I have another Lorac Lip Luster Cream. This one is in the shade Enchanted. It's just a glossy pink. And my thoughts on this NYX palette are positive. The eyeshadows are very hard pressed in the pans. They don't provide a lot of kick up, and I kind of had to work. I kind of had to work to get enough pigment and build it up. Once I know that about a product, I'm fine with it. I thought these shades were perfect. I thought these were the perfect fall purple shades. I think this look is a really nice fall purple look. I'm curious to see how many other people will choose purple for today. I bet there's gonna be a bunch. I think purple can work any day of the year, no matter what the season is, but I think you can make it more appropriate depending on what tone you use, and I think this is a nice eggplanty purple tone. Using these three shades together was kind of a no-brainer, and it made a nice kind of like spotlight eye look with a little brightness right in the center. Sometimes I have to be careful about putting too much darkness on my inner corner because it'll really narrow off my eyes, but every once in a while I like to do that for fun since it's kind of trendy to do that anyways. So yeah, this is my look for today. I will see you guys back for tomorrow's final look. Good morning, guys. It is day 7, which means it is the last day of the 7 days of fall color challenge, and for today we were told to pick any combination of the previous colors that were used, and I have been having a ton of fun kind of doing these monochromatic looks, like all yellow mustard, all orange, all bronzy, all purple. So it's gonna feel a little weird to mix it up, but I decided I wanted to do a combination of my 2 favorite colors, which are orange and purple, and for that I decided to use my Venus 3 palette. It looks like this. It's from Lime Crime. I bought it within the last few months, and I'm a sucker for this kind of color story. I do see a lot of variety within these 8 shadows. I really feel like I could get a variety of looks, and I've seen palettes with many, many, many more shadows, but you could only really get the same one look over and over. Kind of giving Naked Heat the side eye right now, but this one with just 8 shades, I can do a lot. At least that's how I feel. I've only used this shadow so far on my eye, and it comes out a little bit more fuchsia or hot pink than purple, but I haven't used any of these other shades, so definitely I'll be using these 2. I think this one and this one. So let's get into it and see how it goes. I have my same group of brushes as per usual, and I'm going to start with this wispy M433 brush from Morphe, and I'm gonna go into this shade right here called Dreamy. It's a pretty dusty pink kind of shadow, and I'm gonna go right above my crease. This is a gorgeous shadow. I'm gonna mostly cover it up with the orange, but it's beautiful. I could just do that all over my eye and be done. Oh my goodness, that's gorgeous. Oh my gosh, that shade, it doesn't look like much, but it is stunning. I love it. Okay, now I'm gonna go into Bliss, which is the orange shade in the palette. And I'm gonna use the same brush and just kind of go deeper into my crease and put it everywhere. There is quite a bit of kick up with these, so you don't need to go in hard. Okay, I think that is looking the way I wanted it to look. Oh, put a little bit more orange up here. Now I'm going to go in to this purple that looks kind of hot pink on my eyelid. This shade does stain a little bit, but that's fine. And I think I'm just going to apply it with my finger. So I'm just doing one of these. I'm gonna take a little bit of this Rapture shade on my pinky and put that right on my inner corner. It's a little dark, but I wanna see how it looks. Yeah, it's not really making my inner corner glow. I'll do something else. Blending out the purple nicely though. Okay, I'm really happy with how this is turning out. I like the combination of the orange and the purple. I'm gonna go in to the shimmery lavender up here and pop that mostly on top of the deep purple, just kind of right on top. I'm running out of fingers. That's not doing a whole lot. I wonder if it would do better if it was wet or with glitter glue. It's not quite as impactful as I thought it would be. It's still pretty. All right, I'm gonna go back in and apply a little bit more of this orangey shade called Bliss, which is kind of more rosy than I thought it would be. I'm also going to put some of that on my lower lash line with maybe a little bit of Dreamy. This is such a different purple tone compared to yesterday's purple look, but I love it. I absolutely love it. I think I'm just about done. I happen to have my ColourPop Super Shock Shadow in Valley Girl right here. I'm actually going to pop this on my inner corner, and then I'm gonna do eyeliner and mascara, and I'll be right back. That's what I was looking for. That's stunning. Okay, I will be right back with the finished look. Okay guys, this is the finished look. I'm really happy with it. I feel like the purple kind of took over the orange a bit, so I applied a coral lip gloss. This is an old L'Oreal. It's called Glass Shine, High Shine Lip Gloss. It's in this little tube. Still feels great. I love it. Very pretty. So I'm still going through my lip glosses for Pan or Toss, guys. I've been going through them behind the scenes. I got an updated video coming soon, but this is the finished look. I really like it. I think it's fun and I love purple. I could wear purple a lot. I'm very glad that purple was the color of the year. I'm so excited to see what the color will be next year because it's already time for a new color and I'm not done wearing purple yet. So there'll still be a lot of purple looks coming in 2019 for sure. But yeah, this is the look. I really enjoyed this Venus 3 from Lime Crime. I'd like to get a lot more use out of this sooner rather than later because it's a really great palette. I know this has been a very, very long video, but if you've stuck with it till the end, thank you so much for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye.